Hey folks, Mr. Tolly coming at you with a tool tip. We're going to talk about bevelers a little bit, edge bevelers for your leather craft, and how to sharpen them, or how to keep them stropped and keep that edge tuned up for to keep them working nice. So I got English, Scott, English. I have three different types that I use. I have the Craftool Pros. I use these mostly on the heavier leathers. Anything over about a, say, 6 to 7, all the way up to the heavy stuff. And I have the 0 and the 1. I don't use anything bigger than that because I really don't have a need for it. And I have these Owden bevelers. I'm not sure what they call them, what type they are, but I like them, and they work really well for what I do with them. I'm going to show you how to tune up the edges on them and get them working nice for you. And then I have this one that I've had forever. It was cheaper than heck when I got it. I've had it for many, many moons, and it just does the job that I use it for. And it's one job that it does. But I've had it for a long time. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to put you over here and show you how to. We'll start with the craft tools. All I use on those craft tool ones is a really simple piece of paracord. This is an old piece. This was part of my dog's collar, and she outgrew the, well, she didn't outgrow it. The collar had to get shortened up, and it was too tight on her. So this is what I use. This is a piece of old paracord. We just get a little rouge on it. This is green. I think it's fine. I don't know what they call it. It's the green rouge. I don't know. I'm a leather worker, not a knife sharpening guy. But this works on both the 0 and the 1, and that's all I use on them. I can pull on my stitching pony here where I stuck it in there, and I used to keep one of these, just had a screw running through it, stuck to my bench. But all it takes is a few passes on the, I'm using the paracord as a strop, basically. Check your work every now and again, make sure you're, getting the edge where you want it. You don't want to roll it like that, because that will ruin your edge. Sometimes you'll get a burr up there and you need to kind of get that off, so just gotta hit the top a little bit. That looks pretty good. And once we get over to the other bench there, I'll show you, we'll test all of these and see how they're working now that they're sharpened. These, I usually keep these pretty sharp. I use these quite a lot on the heavier leathers when I'm doing holsters especially. And holsters have kind of been a thing lately. Now sometimes if you find that you're not getting where you want it to be, and you might need something, a harder backing, which I don't think is the case here. There we go. Had my angle a little off there. That's nice. So you can see in there, I think. Just shines that up, polishes that really nice. So that one's looking pretty good. I'm going to turn you over to the bench and we'll show you the other bevelers that I'm using. So the paracord trick is pretty easy, and that works on those type of bevelers that have that curve in the back like that. These Owden bevelers are a little bit different. I only have 2 sizes of these because it's the primary ones that I use. I'm thinking about getting a couple of, at least one more, maybe the number 5. These come in the 5 sizes, 1 through 5. And I'll try to put a link to these below. I like these quite a bit. The handle is really comfortable for me anyway. But this is what they are on the back. And I don't know what they call these. Got me, I don't know. But I like them. They do their job really well. They work on thinner leathers really nice. But I'm got this piece of 3 to 4, and it's probably closer to 3 than 4. But I'm going to take and basically I'm going to take my number 3. Ooh. And I think what that'll get me on the back here is just right for the number 1 beveler. And on the other side, I'll take the number 1 I do keep these pretty sharp, so this is purely for you guys because they don't really need work. And I do believe this is the way it, yep, and that worked for the number 3. So that gives me a good edge for the number 3 and a good edge for the number 4 or number 1. And I'm just going to rub some rouge on there. And I'm sure there's other ways to do this. This is just what I found works for me. So I'll grab my number 1, that's the smaller one, and I'll just find my angle that I need. I like to have my good lighting. I'll just find the good angle. Yep. And when you look, and you won't be able to see it on this one because it's so small, I'll show you on the other one. But you'll look and you'll see that nice shiny bevel on there, or shiny polish on there. This one is going on the other side here. So we'll just do the same here. And there are different grades to your rouge. I have some white here, that's a little coarser. And I have black too. I've never used the black, so I don't know if that's coarser or not. But and it's the same thing. This is just a little not rounded as quite as much. And it's just the same routine. Now on these especially, you don't want to do that rolling motion because that will really screw up that edge. And like I said, these really didn't need it, but you can see right up towards the edge there that it's nice, polished, nice and shiny. So those are the first two types of bevelers that I use. The third one is this, and this was the first edge beveler that I bought. I can't stand the thing. I didn't like it in the beginning. I used it though, because it was all that I could afford when I started in leathercraft. I used it for many, many years, and I still use it today because it's the only one that does belt loops right, the way that I like them, because the inside of a belt loop, belt hole, is just really hard to do on a holster. And this works. And it gets that first initial bevel out of the way. So I will take the thinner side of this that I used on the number 1, and I'll just run that through on the inside part here, just to kind of knock that down a little bit. And I know I haven't sharpened this one in a while, so I'm going to use the white as a coarser compound. But we should get a little more on here. I'm not using pressure. I'm not really putting a lot of pressure on there. Just enough to keep it down there in the angle that I want. And you can see that it's shined up really nice. Now I'll flip it over. And just give it that little bit more. To kind of really finish it off there, I guess you'd say. So hopefully that'll get this one working a little better for me. I don't know. I always keep my strap in a bag, and then it goes in my toolbox. I'm just going to set it off to the side for now. So now that we've got them all strapped up and ready to go, let's see how they work. Let's grab the number 3 Odin. This is a little thinner than what I usually use this one on, but let's see. The back fleshy side is always a little harder to bevel, but it looks like it's just taking her right off. Let me get you down here a little better. That fleshy side is just, this is 3 to 4. Just taking that right off. And like I said, this beveler is just a little bit big for this leather, and you kind of you need to get your beveler sized appropriately for your leather. But it does leave me a pretty nice edge there. I don't know how much you'll be able to see. Leaves me a pretty nice bevel there. This is the number 1, and this one takes off just a very little teeny string. And the bevel that it leaves you with is about like that. And it's just a little bit of one, but it burnishes up so nice. So that's those two. The Craftool bevelers, this is the number 0. So this is the smaller one in the Craftool Pro. And it's the smallest one they've got, to the best of my knowledge anyway. And I use this on the thicker leather. This is a 8 to 9, piece of 8 to 9 veg tan, and this is towards the end of a hide. It's not the best piece, but it should cut a bevel on there, even on the fleshy side. So it doesn't do too bad a job. Not a great job, but not too bad. We can deal with that. And that one, I use that mostly, the number 0, I use mostly on the 6 to 7 ounce. When I get much over a 7, I go to the number 1. And this one sees a lot of work. But you can see there, now that we've got it stropped, it goes right through and it leaves me a nice bevel on both sides. And there's a few other tricks that you can use when you're running your beveler to get that to round out really nice. If I just kind of maybe dip it down a little bit, it'll just scrape off just ever so little bit more. And it just kind of rounds it out just a little bit more, and it cleans up really well. And the last but not least, we have this poor thing that I've had for so long. I really don't care for this one when it comes to this kind of beveling. Now let's just make a single pass here so you can see it. It leaves more of a squared off edge, and I don't care for it a whole lot. But when it comes to making that curve inside of the belt slot, it does that really nice. And this is the only beveler that I have that'll do that for me. So, we'll zoom this back out. That is a little down and dirty on some sharpening your bevelers a little bit. And I hope that was helpful to somebody. And I guess that's really all there is. I've got a wallet to make. I got a couple of holsters I got to get made. And yeah, I got I got 2 holsters cut out and a wallet cut out and dyed, and they got to get made. So I better get busy. That's stuff to do. And dinner time's coming. So I'm a fat guy. Still a fat guy. Lost a bunch of weight so far, but I got a bunch more to go. Is there anything else? Probably not. Nothing important anyway. That being said, look for your next tool tip coming up. I think this is number 3, 4 maybe? I don't know. I can't keep track. Y'all stay safe. God bless. We'll catch you in the next video. If you like these videos, let me know down below. If there's a tool tip you want to see pertaining to any kind of a tool you've ever seen me use, let me know. I might have something useful to say about it. I use a lot of different tools. That being said, we'll catch you in the next video. hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I appreciate all that. Have a great night. We'll catch you next time.